Have you ever stopped to think about how different life would be without the internet? No instant messages, no streaming movies, no social media scrolling for hours. It's hard to imagine a world without it because it feels like the internet has always been there. But the truth is, the internet was almost never invented. There were plenty of moments when it could have been stopped or the idea was almost forgotten. Some people didn't believe it would work, others thought it wasn't worth the trouble, and some just didn't understand the vision. Today I want to share 10 reasons why the internet almost didn't happen and how close we came to never having this life-changing technology. 10. The idea was too ahead of its time. When the concept of the internet first began in the 1960s, computers were enormous machines that filled entire rooms. Only big corporations, universities, and governments had them. Most people thought these computers should work on their own, not be connected to each other. The idea that computers could talk to one another, sharing information instantly across distances, seemed like something out of a sci-fi movie. Many experts couldn't picture it actually working. It was a vision far beyond what the technology or the public could understand at the time. Because the idea was so new and unusual, many people ignored it or thought it was pointless. 9. Money was hard to get. Even when some scientists and engineers believed the internet could work, they constantly ran into problems with funding. Building a network to connect computers was expensive, and many companies or governments didn't want to risk spending money on a project with unclear benefits. Funding came and went in waves. Sometimes the project was well supported, but other times the money dried up completely. This caused delays and even halted progress. Without enough financial backing at key moments, the internet might have never moved forward. Many pioneers had to beg or convince others to keep supporting their work, often working on shoestring budgets. 8. Military origins created doubts. The internet's roots lie in a military project by the US Department of Defense. Their goal was to create a communication system that could survive a nuclear attack. This meant designing a network without a central point of failure. So if one part was destroyed, the rest could still function. While this was a smart idea, the military's involvement made some people nervous. They worried that this technology would stay secret or be controlled tightly by the government. The military's need for secrecy slowed down the sharing of ideas and stopped others from getting involved. This created tension between those who wanted to keep the internet closed off and those who believed it should be open and available to everyone. 7. No one agreed on how it should work. Even after the idea caught on, there was no clear plan on how to build the internet. Different groups had different ideas about what the network should do and how it should be designed. Some wanted it to be simple, while others thought it should be complex with many features. There were many debates over how to send information from one computer to another and how to make the system reliable. This lack of agreement caused confusion and delays. If the designers had given up or failed to compromise, the internet might have never come together as one connected network. It took years of trial, error, and collaboration before the best methods were found. 6. The technology was not ready. The computers, cables, and hardware needed to build the internet didn't exist in the early days. Back then, communication devices were slow and limited. Modems, routers, and the fiber optic cables that carry massive amounts of data today were either primitive or hadn't been invented yet. The technology had to catch up with the idea. Many attempts failed because the hardware couldn't handle the demands of the network. Developing the right technology took time, and if those advancements had taken longer or never happened, the internet could have remained just a dream. Without faster and more reliable equipment, the internet wouldn't have been practical or useful. 5. People didn't see the need for it. Before the internet became popular, many people just didn't think we needed it. Businesses and governments were used to their own ways of communicating, like phone calls, letters, or private networks. The idea of sharing information freely and instantly with anyone seemed unnecessary or even risky. Some feared that connecting computers could cause security problems or spread misinformation. Others thought it would be too complicated for regular people to use. Without enough demand or belief in the usefulness of the internet, the project could have lost support entirely. It took years for the public to see how valuable this new tool could be. 4. Early networks were separate and confusing. Before the internet was a single global system, there were many smaller networks. Universities, companies, and government agencies had their own separate systems that didn't connect with each other. These networks were often incompatible, meaning they couldn't talk to one another. This created confusion and frustration because information was trapped inside each network. Making these different systems work together was a huge challenge. If the engineers hadn't figured out how to connect all these separate pieces into one system, the internet might have stayed fragmented and limited. This problem was solved only after years of collaboration and standard setting. 3. Lack of visionary leadership could have killed it. The internet didn't come from just one person's idea. It was the work of many individuals who believed in a big vision and kept pushing forward despite setbacks. Without the leadership and passion of these pioneers like Vint Cerf, Bob Kahn, and Tim Berners-Lee, the internet would have stalled. These leaders helped guide the project through technical problems, political challenges, and funding issues. If they hadn't had the patience and persistence to keep going, the internet might never have come together. Many great ideas fail without people willing to fight for them, and the internet was no different. 2. Early commercial interests were limited. When the internet started becoming available outside of government and universities in the late 1980s and early 1990s, businesses didn't immediately jump on board. They weren't sure how they could make money from it. The idea of an online marketplace, advertising, or social media was not clear to most companies. Many thought the internet was just a fad or something only for scientists and tech geeks. This slow start meant the growth was cautious. If businesses had stayed uninterested or skeptical for much longer, the internet might have remained a niche tool without becoming the massive global network we know today. 1. The world could have taken a different path. Finally, one of the biggest reasons the internet almost didn't happen was that the world could have simply gone in another direction. Technology doesn't develop in a straight line. At many points, new ideas compete with old ones. Instead of the internet, another technology or system might have taken over. Maybe telephones would have become more advanced, or satellite networks could have been the main way to communicate. Social, political, or economic factors could have pushed us towards something else. The fact that the internet became the dominant technology was a mix of luck, timing, and the choices of many people around the world. So, there you have it. 10 reasons why the internet was almost never invented. It wasn't just one problem or one moment that nearly stopped it. It was a mix of skepticism, technical challenges, funding struggles, and uncertainty about what the future would look like. The internet we use today is the result of decades of hard work, cooperation, and a bit of luck. Next time you scroll through your phone or stream a video, remember how close we came to living in a world without this incredible technology. If you found this story interesting, please like the video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.